you kind of touched on. It's
Mhm.
Michigan. It's the biggest brand in college football. It's the most important brand in college football.
For school reasons, sure. For academic reasons, not sports reasons.
As arrogant as it's going to sound, the maize and blue, the wing helmet has to be on the cover.
You don't even have the largest fan base in America for college football.
No, there's reasons for that, but we are the biggest brand in college football. We've had a player in every single decade of this stinking game. That's crazy. Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of the Scarlet and Blue Show. We're recording at an odd date and time. Life has been a bit chaotic on my end. We are prepping to move from Texas to Michigan, and so stuff came up last week. I know. Shout out Buc-ee's. Those of you who been down south know what Buc-ee's is. But excited to come back home, and so it's caused a lot of fun stuff, but has postponed recordings. And so we're going to record today, one episode this week, and then we'll be back normal scheduled programming next week. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, it's only May, so there's really nothing happening. But that's the update here. So Garrison.
Well, hey, we're 15 Saturdays away from week 0.
Atta boy, that's a countdown
15 Saturdays away. So
that is a countdown.
Hey man, we'll keep track of it here. We'll keep track.
We will. We're excited. News keeps coming. Where do you want to? We're taking a break, obviously, from the 10-week war here, just because of everything going on. But where do you want to start, man? There's been a lot of news, and I think we just dive right in. Should we start with the Donnie news?
Don't. It's not the Donnie news.
It's the Donnie news.
It's not. It's fine. Let's call it the Donnie news.
You owe me $25, by the way.
You really had the inside information.
I got my sources. I knew that was coming.
Bryce, without specific, are you serious right now? Like, without specifics, you tell everyone the conversation we had offline.
I knew all the three main guys.
Yeah. It was cheating. It was insider information.
I told you I knew, and you didn't believe me. And so I was like, all right, let's bet on it. So Garrison owes me $25.
I do. You know what, Bryce? I should have known. I don't know how I would have known you were.
I have my sources. You know that.
That's
how I knew Amarian Walker was coming back.
That's not big. That's not big news.
That's big news. I keep hitting my desk.
I don't know. Okay, there's two aspects to this. I get why he's on the front because it's almost like you need a Michigan player on there since they won the Natty last year. But then again, I mean, we've had guys like Denard Robinson on there who weren't close to winning Heisman's or close to winning national championships, but he had an electric year and he made the cover on, of course.
Yep.
You're not gonna put Mason Graham you could have put Will Johnson on. If you want to put a Michigan player, you could put Will Johnson on there.
Yep.
I don't get why he's on there. There is not a football reason why he is on that cover with everyone else that's in there. I couldn't tell you. I don't think there's a football reason why Travis Hunter should be on there. As much as I think he's one of the best athletes in college football, he shouldn't be on that cover. Did he play half a season last year?
That's right, he got hurt. Not even. I don't think he played a half. Or maybe he came back later.
Yeah, I don't think a guy with 10 games under 4 yards per carry and 6 games under 3 yards per carry should be on the cover.
You guys were in turmoil.
Wait, is that hating or is that just me giving you facts?
It's selecting the facts that you'd like. Yes,
Bryce, would you call as a player? Would you call him average last year?
Well, his performance overall, because he played in all the games.
Not every game. He played 15 games? 15 games.
Yeah.
Overall, was he average for the season?
Yeah, overall he was average, but in the games we needed him, he shined.
Okay, that's not what I asked you. For a full season, was he average? Okay.
Why
is an average? I'm not gonna call him. I don't think he's an average player. Why is a guy that with an average season on the cover?
Well, first, I think the first answer is that you kind of touched on. It's
Mm-hmm.
Michigan. It's the biggest brand in college football. It
That
is the
that
most important
oh
brand in
god
college football.
for school reasons, sure. For academic reasons, not sports reasons.
As
You guys don't.
arrogant as it's going to sound, the maize and blue, the wing helmet has to be on the cover.
You don't even have the largest fan base in America for college football.
No, there's reasons for that, but we are the biggest brand in college football. We've had a player on every single decade of this stinking game. That's crazy. That's crazy. It is the biggest brand and the most important
No,
brand in college football.
you guys do
That
have
with Texas. Texas is important too, but that's why Quinn Ewers is on there.
he should be on there. He wasn't average last year.
I think it shows that Donovan's poised to have a big year. I thought you'd come back at me with when I said Michigan was the biggest. I was fully expecting you to say who's
No,
the most viewed.
no. Well, last year you guys are the most viewed because you are a very good team. You are a very good program. You are one of the most elite. Throughout history, one of the more dominant programs. And also, people want to see you lose. It's kind of like Floyd Mayweather. People are going to tune in to hopefully see you lose.
Yes,
That's
which is true. It's true.
This is true. So, I mean, and no, I don't think it was popular brand. I mean, there was a poll of high school recruits. You weren't in that. You were not the top. I don't think Michigan broke the top three. So it's not even in the view of the kids that you guys are looking to bring into your program. I mean, you don't even. I mean, on a year-to-year basis, you don't even bring the most revenue from in football. You don't even bring the most revenue in the sport. I don't see how you got the. You're not the biggest brand, but you are definitely top 3 to 5.
I said it's the most important brand.
You're not the most important brand.
I beg to
differ. I don't think so. I don't think so. And if I gave my answer, nobody would like it.
What is your answer?
This is so disgusting. I hate that. I hate that I feel this way. Notre Dame. I don't know. And
20 years ago, yes.
Maybe another day I can explain why I have Notre Dame. Like why I weirdly, Bryce, I look at them with awe. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think you're the only one. I don't think people respect Notre Dame anymore. And that's not a knock on Notre Dame. So let me rephrase that. People don't respect them like they used to. I think people still do respect.
Yeah, but I mean, I think today, if you guys play them, I mean, more people would pick them to beat you guys. But
well, you talk a head-to-head matchup. That's one thing. The power of the brand.
I think Notre Dame's power, the power of that. They haven't won a championship in God knows how long, and yet they still recruit better than you.
Your metric is based solely on recruiting.
No. It's not. No. Hold. In order to get recruits, you need a big brand. You need a big brand.
is not lacking in that department.
You're literally in the 20s right now in recruiting after a national
because we're not paying. We know that we've talked about that ad nauseum here.
You definitely even Braylon Edwards said he got like I don't okay.
You know what I mean. We're not footing the bill for freshmen to walk on campus and make $1 million. I'm not saying you guys are either. I'm just like certain schools are doing. Michigan's just not doing that. Whether right, wrong, or indifferent. I know. Whether right, legal. Wrong, or different, they've decided they're not doing that. And I have shared my objections and my qualms with Michigan not doing that on this program. But they're not.
That's true. But yeah,
I was ready to go. I was ready to go in on like you saying that Ohio State. I was going to do my whole spiel about how Ohio State's only big because it's the only premier program in the state, the 7th largest state in the United States.
So what?
But you didn't take the bait, and I was disappointed. I had a whole thing ready.
Well, because I don't have to bloviate and come up and conjure up crazy narratives to talk about Ohio State's brand. The brand is the brand. I don't. What are you talking about? We're bigger than our brand's bigger than Deion Sanders. So I don't.
True.
I don't. Even like think about this. Alabama has won more championships than anyone else in college football, right? They've had they can arguably say they had the two best coaches in college football history.
Yep.
Brand still isn't bigger than Ohio State's. So I mean,
Yeah, no, I know. So that was Donovan Edwards on the cover. And other cover comment in regards to the content discussed on this show. Massively disrespectful to Trayvon Henderson. Why is Judkins on there in front of Henderson?
because he's been the two-time leading rusher in the SEC freshman sophomore year, and that's
I
and I
okay,
think
fair. I just Trayvon's been the guy for 3 years.
no, he's been the guy for Ohio State.
That's what I mean. So who's going to
Judkins,
wear the helmet?
this isn't Ohio State 2000. This is Ohio State football 25. This is NCAA football 25.
Wait, are you saying that Judkins is RB1? Is that already set?
I don't think we have an RB1.
You have to.
I don't. Just I think
who's
just
going to get the ball
because
in crunch time?
I think both of them will. It depends on the situation. Like, say if we need to keep getting short yard situations, I think in that situation you need him. If we're in a game where it's ping pong, everyone's scoring, you need Travion. Because this is what I do know. Travion, once he's gone, he's gone. That's not the same for Judkins. But I do believe that Judkins is better. Judkins is a bigger Blake Corum. Shifty, breaks tackles, hard to get him down, good between the tackles. He ain't running from anybody.
Doesn't have that speed.
No, but I mean he has football speed. But I mean, but that's top of Ohio State. In terms of the cover, I get why Judkins is there. That being the two-time rushing champ in the SEC is, I mean, outside of winning the Doak Walker Award, is probably the biggest running back accomplishment you can have. It ain't easy to run, especially when you're an Ole Miss. It wasn't easy for him because they knew who was getting the ball, especially after his freshman year.
They had other good backs. They've had that other really, what is his name?
The one from TCU, transferred to TCU last year.
Yeah, they had him, but they had the freshman too.
Yeah,
they had three backs.
And he took and he was the one that got the ball more than everyone else and wasn't close.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Fair. I'm just Travion's been the guy. So I was surprised.
I don't. But as for Ohio State, not in terms of a cover for a game.
Yeah, I would imagine Ohio State had the choice to who to put on though. Maybe that was part of the package to get him here. A little incentive because this has been set for a while.
Where did you come up with?
I don't think I had that far off. Why?
I'm mad because I can see it.
Because you can exactly.
Oh,
it's not like Judkins was in a bad spot in a bad offense on a bad team. He was in a good spot. I think he had to sweeten the deal.
He's in a better spot. He's in a much.
We're talking about him sharing reps. He was.
Well, but he said he wanted to share reps, and when Coach Day called Travion said yes, bring him in. Mind you, would you? I personally would rather live in Ohio than the state of Mississippi. That's just me.
I have not been to Mississippi. I have not been to Oxford. I've heard Oxford is quite nice, though.
In the words of Mike Valenti, there's a lot of old Southern money down there. That's all I gotta say about Mississippi.
True. Columbus isn't actually that bad.
They make Alabama look like choir boys.
I have not been there. I will speak nothing to this. I'll trust you there. Hey, you know what you need though when times of chaos?
Tell me what we need, Bryce.
You need an insurance agent you can trust. Dillon Riches of the Riches Agency, Farm Bureau Insurance. You know, trust, integrity, and personal service still matter to a lot of people. These values are alive and well in Farm Bureau Insurance agent Dillon Riches of the Riches Agency. Dillon offers service that's convenient to you, appointments that fit your schedule, and he'll get to know you face to face. Trust him for all your insurance needs. You just need one good insurance professional in your life. Make a Dillon. Call 616-600-0083 today. Farm Bureau's Insurance, Michigan's insurance company. Hey, let's talk about a fun conversation here. This is good off-season fodder. So I think if you're going to go across the board and you look at defensive line, edge units, Michigan, Ohio
Mhm.
State are up there. Garrison, you shared this topic with us, but On3 has a list and a lot of back and forth about Michigan ones versus Ohio State ones on the D line and edge positions.
Yeah.
I think it's tough, man.
Mhm.
It's tough. It's 1A, 1B. Um,
Yeah.
what do you think? What do you think?
I think you guys have the clear cut best defensive tackle unit or duo in the country. And I think Ohio State, I mean, man, like I know I towards the end of the year we saw Jack Sawyer come to life. And JTT picks his days. I don't know why, but I mean, per PFF, take with a grain of salt. They both had high statistics on there on the pass rush and the run game. I think our edge players are the two best in the country as a unit. With that being said, I believe Ohio State's defensive tackles and Michigan's edges are right there together, where they're very good, but they're not the best in the country. I think, I mean, Tyleik Williams is going to be a day one, day two player in the NFL draft. I don't know if I can say that about your guys' players, but at the same time, I think both your edge players are very good. I think they're better. I think they're better at their spot than our DT2 is. Whoever that's going to be, honestly. So now I do believe we have more depth than you guys at each position on the D line, but that the ceiling of your guys' defensive tackle unit and even the floor. Let's talk about Grant's floor. That's a very good floor
It is.
because we didn't get to see him all the time. And so I think it's a really interesting discussion, but I believe that in today's game, edge players are more important than defensive tackles. So I think that's why Ohio State got the lead to that.
Yeah, probably fair. I want to disagree, but I think that's probably fair. I think you're also right. If you're to take the 8 guys on each side, I think it does go. I'm basing this off a lot of draft boards. I think Mason Graham's one. I'm not gonna give you that. I just think if you're gonna go, it's
No,
Michigan defense interior tackles, and then it's Ohio State edges. Although I still don't buy JTT. I saw Penn State, and I feel like he gets a lot of love for that. I got to see more from him. But yeah, Jack
yeah,
Sawyer came on at the end of the year last year.
all right. I'm probably one of the biggest JT supporters there is. I do understand where people want to see more production from him, but watch game by game. He's putting pressure on the quarterback, which is why our secondary is very good and very elite. But that's what helped them a lot. He also does well in the rush game. So I get why people feel that way. And let's not get this twisted. He is a 6'4", 275-pound athlete. When he played 7-on-7, Bryce, he played wide receiver.
Yeah,
So
he's a big athlete.
he's a freak athlete. So I get why people want to see more out of him. But even with his lackluster uh, production, he was still slated at worst second round. And I would say the best we've seen out of him is better than what the best we've seen out of Grant.
Out of JTT?
Yeah. The
Um,
best you can't name one game.
well, JTT's a starter. Grant was behind
And that's fair. No, and that's fair.
Jenkins last year.
That's fair. But even if he was the starter, you would never see him do that. I promise you that.
Yeah, we're not getting as many stats.
It's not even that. He ain't the athlete JT is.
Dude, did you see him chase down Penn State's running
He
back
did.
last
He
year?
didn't chase him down. He had to make a cut, got tripped up, and he came from behind.
He's such a hater.
No, I'm not a. Listen,
That's such an impressive play for a
we
330-pound dude.
we can't keep saying people are hating when they give you correct information.
Someone's talked to too many Michigan fans on Twitter lately.
I just don't understand why we call factual things hating. No, if I give you facts, I'm giving you things that you can go on Google and find. Everyone, I'm giving you things that you can research for yourself. You know, most of us have fingers, hands, eyes to type. We can all do that. So I just think that he's a better. Come on, he's a better athlete. The way think about that interception he had for a touchdown against Penn State, where he comes off the lineman, pushes him down when he tries to chop block him, and while doing that has a wherewithal to jump up from a 5 yard from a pass that's 5 yards away from him. I don't think Kenneth Grant's doing that.
I mean, I think we could each pick out highlights and match them up against each other. We'll
Probably
get our
so.
intern to do that. We don't have an intern to do that, but if we had an intern, we'd ask him to do that. But
And,
I don't know. I think if you went across the board, you go Jack Sawyer, Kenneth Grant, Mason Graham, JTT, the best defense line unit in football. And I do think our edges, we're lacking in depth. Now, Josiah Stort, he started last year.
mm-hmm.
And that rotation felt so even. I don't have snap counts in front of me here, but between Braden McGregor, Jalen Harrell, Derek, how am I forgetting his name? Derek Moore, thank you, and Josiah Stort. Those reps were split pretty evenly. So now it's Moore's year.
Say
Stewart, Moore's year, and you guys have Tyleek, and who's the fourth guy? Who's your interior D lineman?
Oh, okay. I don't know why I'm so bad at this. Sometimes I blank on names.
He's a no name, so there you go.
He's not a no name. Stop doing that. That's disgusting. But it's not Ty. I remember
the Buckeye fans for you guys. Just fair weather. Don't know players.
Fair weather. Oh wow. I can name Kenny Guytons. Come on, stop. But no, I just think. I mean, actually, real quick, Bryce, your whole defense, that whole depth on that defense is bad right now. But
we've got some concerns.
But
we do have some concerns. We'll take care of it though. We'll be all right.
Especially a DB chose Illinois over you guys. A DB chose Illinois over you guys.
Oh, he got
a corner at that, or say a corner.
Good for him.
So once again, are you telling me that they have more money than you?
I'm telling you that I don't know the reason, and that's enough for me to be like, all right, there's something at play there. Because Garrison, objectively speaking, why would you go to Illinois over Michigan or USC? USC was in that mix too. I'm just saying. All right, you wanted to give a top 10. Give a top 10. What do you got? Who's our spring top 10?
Kind of like how we did last time. No, I want to do how we did last time, where we, as a joint effort, we talked it down. I think we did it last year for our top 10 midseason top 10. So I wanted to do how we did it last year. We kind of just walk through it and we pick who we have. It's a joint effort. We're in this together. So
okay. All right. This is so you gave us Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Missouri, Bama, Oregon, Texas, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Penn State, LSU, Utah, and OU, Oklahoma. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13. 3 are going to get left out.
Yes.
All right, number 1. Who are you putting the Bucks at number 1?
No. Okay. Me personally, I have Georgia. It is simply because of the quarterback position. Though I believe Ohio State might have more explosive players than Georgia does, I don't think the quarterbacks are close. So I don't think he's lapping Will Howard, but I think that Carson Beck has a chance to be the first quarterback taken in the NFL draft next year. Now it's not going to be a great draft, but this is an NFL conversation.
Correct.
As of right now, I think they have a top 3 quarterback in college football. They're going to have a top 10 defense. They have players all around. They got ETN, I believe, at running back. I don't believe he's missing any games. And on top of that, man, you got the best coach in college football. It ain't close. So, And I believe they have the talent depth everywhere, just as Ohio State does. So right now, I would give them the lead simply because of quarterback and coach.
Who's a better coach, Kirby Smart or Jim Harbaugh? From a Buckeye fan.
Kirby Smart.
Okay.
And,
All right.
and the only reason I say that is this. It took Jim a very long time to get to the mountaintop. Um, on top of that, I think 3 years ago, 2021 would have been Jim's first conference championship. Didn't even do it at Stanford, even when he had really good teams, because he did have really good teams at Stanford. Um,
Yeah,
I
that's fair. I wasn't expecting
yeah,
necessarily
and
a different answer, but I just
yeah, and I know people want to bring up the 49ers, the 49ers. We're almost a decade removed from the 49ers. And mind you, you don't get celebrated for losing. He got celebrated for losing a champ. I've never. It amazes me that Jim Harbaugh is the one coach we celebrate for losing a championship. If that's the
context.
case, there's no context in that you lost the Super Bowl to your brother. That's what happened. That's what
Well,
happened.
remember the lights went out and that threw
What,
the whole game on its tilt.
oh,
So it's game on its head.
oh, don't
Took away
care.
all the Niners' momentum.
Cool, don't care.
All right.
So
Number two, then I'll say it. Bucks are number two. I
yeah,
think that's fair.
yeah, and
Number go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I don't think that needs to be an explanation.
Nope. Nope. You can figure out the quarterback position, lock up the offensive line, be a formidable team. Now, number three. Who do you have at number three? Because I think this could go a lot of different directions.
Okay,
Who's your number three?
Oregon,
Wow. Okay. I
Oregon.
just I gotta see him do something before I can put them at number three. No disrespect to the Ducks out there, but I don't see it, man.
I would wholeheartedly be with you on this, but I'm going to stay consistent.
Okay.
Last year has no bearing on this upcoming season.
Correct. Correct.
Nothing to do with it. Um, Dillon Gabriel has balled out no matter where he goes or where he plays. Uh, I think they'll have good running backs this year. Wide receiver unit is gonna be the second best in the Big Ten by a long
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah, they got a lot of talent everywhere for sure.
And the defense.
Yep.
And I want to kind of like you probably know this already, but I want to kind of remind you and everyone else watching. Since Mario Cristobal, especially in the trenches, they have been built like an SEC team, and they have on the outside also now, just like Ohio State, Oregon is built like an SEC team. I think there's only two teams in the Big Ten that are built that way.
Yeah.
Where you have Ohio State still needs to show improvement on the offensive line. We all agree with that.
Yep.
But Oregon is very good in the trenches. They have very good linebacker play. They shored up some of their DB problems. And offensive line hasn't been a problem for Oregon for years.
Yep.
Years. And now you're adding on one of the most productive quarterbacks in college football over the last 3 years, 4 years, I think now, 3 years. And
Okay.
one
All
of the
right.
most up and rising coaches in college football.
Yeah. Yeah, all good arguments that I could see happening. So, all right, go number three there. Number
Mm-hmm.
four. Do we put the Longhorns or who we put number four? They lost some talent up front on the defensive line. They lost their wide
They,
receiver.
they they did pick up both of Arizona's defensive tackles.
Okay. They lost
Um,
Worthy. They lost Brooks. So they're replacing weapons.
mm-hmm.
Are they four or would we go with an Ole Miss?
Give me Ole Miss. Who do you think? I say Ole Miss.
I'd say Ole Miss because of the talent returning.
Mm. And it has to work out. I mean, all those transfers, it has to work out.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
If
They got
it,
A&M guys. That's right. They got a lot of transfers, didn't they? Holy cow.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's
All right.
and you're in. Let's they're putting a lot of stock at the Jackson Dart, and
They are.
I have been a fan of Jackson Dart since he was at USC, since he was coming out of high school. Um, and Lane Kiffin is one of the most hated yet most underrated offensive play callers in college football.
Yep. Yep.
You are putting a lot of stock into with Judkins leaving, especially. You're putting a lot of stock into him making the plays as a quarterback. And Ole Miss, though I think they got a few transfers in the O line, they weren't the best O line last year. Just because you're putting transfers in, like more times than not, transfers don't work. In terms of all the transfers that happen, they usually don't work. So now you're putting him behind a who knows what O line.
Yep. Yep.
We'll see.
We'll see. I think that's good. I got
So
Bama after that. I got Bama at 5.
Give me Texas. So tell me why you have Bama.
I like Jalen Milroe. I like that offense. I like
I think you just like him because you like Orgy now, but
completely unrelated.
okay.
But I like Milroe. I like DeBoer. The guy wins everywhere. They got a lot of transfers. They got returning pieces. I think people are thinking that, oh, Saban's gone. It's about to drop off. I don't know how much of a drop off there's going to be.
Okay.
You got Texas though.
To Alabama, I do think they'll be good. But just I mean, I know I say years don't matter, but I'm just historical context for the sake of the show. Usually after, I mean, the last time Bama came off of a great all-time coach, they went into college football purgatory. So
I don't think DeBoer
that
is just any coach though.
That's true, and I don't either. But this isn't Washington.
No,
you're now on one of the big stages in college football. Excuse me. So we'll see how he does. When it comes to Texas, I think Sark gets a little bit of a bad rap because he hasn't been a head coach for long, and he has some mishaps at USC. But I mean, he's rebuilt himself now. Good for you, man. But
yep. That's fine. I can see Texas before.
I can only expect Texas to be down for so long and not rise back to the top of college football like royalty.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we go.
It's hard. I'm sorry. I'm just putting my thoughts. It's hard to convince me in Kalen DeBoer's system that Jalen Milroe's the guy, which is why he has been named the starter. And so I think they're gonna have to lean off that running game. I think they're gonna lean on that running like Justice Hayes, very good running back. He was a freshman last year. You probably saw him again when you guys played them.
Yep.
I don't
Chase
know.
McCollum's gone.
Let's go Alabama 4. Let's go Alabama 4.
Alabama 4.
And
Texas 5.
We had Miss at 3, correct?
Correct.
Yep. And the Texas 5. Okay. Now we're at 6. Who you got?
Big Blue.
Okay.
That defense and the rushing attack are important. Quarterback, we got to figure out the quarterback position, but who do you have in front of Michigan is my question. If you're going to put Penn State, get GTFO.
No.
Okay, thank you.
No.
You got a minute left.
I don't have them.
We got Blitz.
You're gonna hate me for this.
Well, I'll tell you what. Give the rest of your list here because we got a minute left.
Give me Notre Dame at 6.
No.
Give me Michigan at 7. Penn State at 8. Utah at 9. Missouri at 10.
We'll put that out. I don't know if I sign off on that yet, but I respect you.
I
I'm going
trust
to.
Notre Dame's I trust Notre Dame's quarterback before I trust yours.
Okay. All right. Well, good stuff. We'll be back next week. Appreciate everyone's flexibility and patience. And go blue.
OH.
Peace.
Deuce.